Okay, well, good morning, afternoon, and or evening. This is Derek, Professor Silly Gaming, and I got another zombie build, but I was going to edit and make a video, but, well, it's already past my normal 12 o'clock time, and I figured I would just stream the tour of this, but then we had zombies attack. So the chaos of a zombie settlement build is real. Alright, let's just... Oh, come on now. So let's take care of these zombies first. I don't like that one of my settlers is helping. That isn't great, because as you're going to see, settlers die. Are you okay, dude? Okay, you're good. There's more? Yeah, there is. Anyone in here? Gotta do headshots. Alright, now we good? Now we're good. Excellent. Okay. So, hi. Good morning. Afternoon. Or evening. It's afternoon here. It's past my normal 12 o'clock local upload time. I have a video shot but not edited for Starlight Drivein. So, without further ado, let's take a look at what I did here. Normally, I scrap all of this stuff and I put a water filter thing in the middle of the water. There's just some intuitive things to do here, and then I like to build off the structure. I didn't do that for this at all. This is a zombie build, and I got to think about defenses. And unless I want to do a complete fence perimeter around the whole thing, that's not going to work. So, and we have the remnants of the last zombie attack. They do happen, and this is unfortunately our provisioner. I should take his stuff. He can keep his shirt. He hasn't risen from the dead, so that's good. Instead, I did all of my building over here on the former screen. So, in the interest of protection, they're all built up into this structure. I built a little fence around. This was closed, but, well, he just opened it to go wandering for whatever reason. I didn't remove anything from this little room back here, or really this room here. Left all that pretty much as is, as I did with my last zombie build. I'm trying to not scrap anything unless I absolutely have to. Right. They have an outhouse. Of course they have an outhouse. Someone's smoking cigars in the outhouse. That's fine. That covers up smells, I suppose. And then a water washing / station. Now, granted, because the provisioner died, they're cut off. Which means that this is not enough water for all four of them. I'll get that fixed. That'll be fine. So there's this little room here for, I suppose, for travelers or for provisioners to sleep in if they want to. Keeping this place, keeping this relatively clear, or somebody took everything. Hard to tell. All right, let's close that. All right, so into our structure itself. Of course, they have their door. Now, they're protecting against zombies and raiders. So, immediately upon coming in, I've got built in our defenses. We got one turret. We've got two turrets. 3 turrets. And so as they get further up, they get hit by more and more bullets. Haven't had anybody make it this far yet. We've been able to keep the zombies pretty far afield, as you can see. And nobody's really tried to attack. But if they do, it's going to be very hard for them to make it all the way up. Alright, of course we have our view. Of course I shot the video at a more normal time of day. Now it's getting a little bit later and a little bit darker. Final 5th one right there. All of our energy is being generated by these windmill generators up here. And we're using more electricity here than we did at Sanctuary. Alright, so if we come up into the structure, there's 3 levels. This top level is their food and dining and hanging out area. So we've got our...
You're looking for trouble, I hope.
Hi. We got our food guy. I did pillar glitch a cabinet up there to hold his silverware and cutlery and whatnot. It's mostly a bakery. I resisted the urge
how many blisters I got.
to make a donut fryer. That seems a little bit not scrappy enough. So he's got his stove and his little griddle. Got a rainbow donut, classic sweet roll, and then some canned goods and some Buzz Bites down there. So he's mostly a bakery, but he can make anything. He can make food and stuff, meat as well. Got a little seating area for people to eat there if they want to be sociable while they eat. Got a little couch to have an after dinner smoke. There's some Nuka-Cola back in there. Yeah, I just leveled up. Another little place to sit if you want to sit a little bit more by yourself and ponder the landscape, which is a pretty nice view from there. Another little place to sit, just to be, relax after a hard day's work. All right, going down into the second level. This is the work level. So we've got, first of all, a scavenging station. We've got an armor workbench. They've got plenty of materials. I'm going to turn on my lights. There we go. Plenty of materials to make stuff, tan leather, etc., etc. I'm tempted to switch my light over to like white. I'll resist the urge. We have a weapons workbench here, including lots and lots of various mods. Oh, I do have night vision when I'm kneeling, so that's actually kind of nice. Plenty of materials to upgrade weapons, which is important in a zombie apocalypse. And we got mostly pipe weapons here. We do have a pretty fancy suppressed 10mm auto. Most of these weapons are suppressed so as not to draw zombies to the spot. That is a double-barreled shotgun there, though. Shotguns are great. Places to sit during breaks. Got mutt fruit, so they're making their own food. They do have a coffee station, and we dragged Slocum's Joe coffee station here to make sure that they have good coffee. We have a chem station, which is mostly for making medical supplies. Got some antiseptic, various stuff to make stim packs and things of that nature. They really need to clean that sink out. And another station for that stuff. I did turn the radios off just turned the radios off just so that we're not dealing with any kind of copyright issues. But they have radios that can play while they're working. Got a little bit of a sniper station over here, so probably one of our better sniper rifles. So that there's zombies coming from that side. One thing I did not show you upstairs, I'm going to show you real quick, is just in case raiders do make it past or whatever.
You hear about that farm run by ghouls?
Our settler here has a glow-sighted calibrated pipe pistol down under his station at his feet as needed. I did wire up everything through these conduit. I used the wire glitch to wire through the floors.
Out here, you gotta take things one day at a time.
That comes to there, conduit down to the floor, and then we got a little light just so it's a tripping hazard. And then that provides the ability to have all the light that we're going to have down here on the third floor, the bottom floor, which is our residential floor. This is where people sleep. So we have 4 beds down here, plenty of clothing in all the various stuff. Someone's got a cat bowl. I think they're hoping to get a cat at some point. Little place to sit and relax. No more places to sit and relax. Nothing in the cooler. Another place to sit and relax. We will, and this is where you kind of they hoard stuff down here. We'll come back to this little middle thing in a second because that's the coup de grace of this build. The thing I'm most happy about. So more clothing and knickknacks, couches, beds, a little desk, no chair, A little oversight on my part, not putting a chair there. That said, it is tight down here, so you have to just walk around it. They could just grab the ottoman and bring the ottoman over. That would be fine. We've got a baseball bat up there. A little place to sit and relax. There's no holidays anymore, so a little Christmas tree. I don't usually use Christmas trees, but it seemed appropriate. I do have yellow lights down here. Again, not to draw too much attention at night, but enough that they're not having tripping hazards. And if they get attacked, especially when they're sleeping, and somehow raiders or whatever get past the turrets and get into the structure, one might think they'd be trapped down here on this third level with 2 staircases to guard. Well, there's 4 shotguns here that they can grab. 4 settlers, 4 shotguns. So, if in the middle of the night, they don't need to look far for shotguns. They're right here. And if it gets hopeless and overrun and they have to escape, well, it took some finagling to make this work, because this piece doesn't like to have things built on it. You can build next to it, but not really building on it. There is an emergency escape hatch here at the bottom. Drops down to the roof of this little thing here. You can fall there without any damage, so they can grab their weapons. From here, they can drop down, and then they can either fend off whatever's it, or they can always make a retreat back to the diner slash shop that's just over there to the west. At worst case, they could head up towards Sanctuary or one of my other settlements. So yeah, this is... I'm going to turn my light off now. So now that it is actually evening, I might as well finish up the... Oh, the zombies are gone from here now. Yay, they despawned. That's nice. So, pretty subtle from this side. It looks... There's more like lights coming from this structure. So raiders would be inclined to go here. They might want to go check that out, but it's quiet. So zombies shouldn't be too much of an issue. And from the other side, obviously there's lights there that I can't do anything about. But if you look up, I mean, yes, it's lit up a little bit here and there, but not crazy so. No more than there's already just lights that already existed. I mean, more, but there was already lights existing in this place. So I'm not sure if raiders would see it as that lucrative of a target. And then we got the stars out now, so... And I just earned some reward points. All right, great. Whatever. Let's give myself a good background. So this is my Starlight Drivein zombie build. This was fun. Oh, one more thing I want to mention. Getting these pillars in place was a fun challenge. The whole thing, getting the right height to it. I started at the top, I built the staircase, and then I was able to build up. I wasn't able to get it just right and build down from there, so I had to build up a structure and get flooring at just the right height for the top level, build it across so that it was even, and then make little adjustments until it was just right. Once I had that, I was able to build down just fine. That said, these columns would not snap to most of these pieces. It would snap to the one right there in the corner. So I was able to build the columns down, and then without putting the bottom layer on, I was able to build flooring and build the flooring across and build up from the flooring. So that's how I was able to get all of these columns perfectly spaced, and where it looks like they are attaching, even like they're attaching weirdly just underneath the structure in the middle part. So that was a fun challenge. Right. One more thing I want to look at. Looks like I'm getting the lighting issue. I'll need to do a hard reset to make it stop doing that. So, I do need to fix the supply line just as an update of where the whole zombie thing is going. I'll need to replace the provisioner that was coming from Red Rocket. Because Preston, I do have 10 Pines. 10 Pines looks pretty happy. Sanctuary looks pretty happy. Red Rocket. Oh, there's 9 people there? Well, that's dropping. Okay, I must have left the thing on. We need to turn the thing off there. I did get County Crossing because Preston sent me there, and Outpost Zamonja. I haven't built a thing there, so there's nobody there. That one I've gotten a little further along on. This being a farm, just like 10 Pines, I basically built a greenhouse, built defenses, built him a better water purifier, called it. He does want me to go also to Nordhagen Beach, and we've got the castle ready to do as well. The castle is probably going to be a hub, like Red Rocket. And Hangman's Alley might be a provisioner hub. I'm going to have multiple hubs. That's how I'm going to structure everything. So I don't know what's going to be next. Maybe a streaming video. I've been doing a lot of Fallout 76 and building in Fallout 76 as well. I don't know if I'll have another video ready for next week, so maybe a streaming of one or the other. Not sure. We will see. But that is what I'm doing with all of this. In the meantime, thank you for checking out my stream instead of just a video. So there's no extra music. There's none of the bells and whistles I like to do. None of the transitions, etc., etc. But yeah, you get to see my face, my post-workout hungry face with a post-workout shake. That's yummy. In the meantime, you have a great rest of your whatever, and I will see you next time.